We've got Josh Setterfield in the room tonight. He's going to have a chat about his current single and what he's been sort of up to and what might be coming ahead. So we're going to welcome him into the room. Is that working? It's just slow tonight. Hi, how you going?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, good. Welcome. It's been a little while. We had earlier in the year. Was it earlier this year? Was it late last year that we had you on last?
I have the worst memory ever. Do not ask me. I don't know what I did yesterday.
I think it was not. I think it was late last year because I think it was before Tamworth, but I can't promise that. Right. It was. Yep. I think that's what
we'll
it
go
was.
with that. Let's just go with
we'll
that.
We'll go with that. It's been in the last few years. That's for sure. Jared's watching. It's yes. I think I want to know this, Josh. How have you been? I know it's been a pretty crazy year for you.
It has.
It's crazy couple
very
of years.
up and down. Very up and down lately. Like, because I know a bunch of people come on and they all say like, "Oh, yep, everything's great. That's good. That's good." But I mean, I've just released a song called "Life Ain't So Bad" almost 2 months ago now, and it has been a very up and down thing, and that song lately has been helping me as well because I've been up and down lately. It's just and everything's been going amazing, but I've been under a lot of stress and stuff, so I've just kind of been tackling this from a new angle because, as you know, I used to come from a band and we did pretty well, and I've kind of gone past that now with where I am in country music, and it's all new territory, and it's kind of like I got to step it up and go to the next level or whatever decision I make, so it's stressful, man, but it's part of this ride, and I'm kind of just riding the wave and seeing where it's going, and I'm loving it. I am loving it.
It's funny, isn't it? We've all got that dream of getting to that sort of level, but on the way there, it's kind of it becomes almost a bit of a burden because you get something, you're going really well. Now there's more pressure to keep going and do another thing that goes as well, and it actually puts more pressure on you to keep climbing. It's kind of
and we don't know what to do. It's like it's all just like you do it and you hope that for the best. So
it's guesswork, and nobody knows.
Yeah, you just got to, as my manager always says, you got to stay positive, and I'm the most negative person in the world, so that's
that's why we really do to keep you on that side of the positive side. But had you been overseas before this trip? Was that your first overseas visit?
No. So the UK was my first ever time leaving Australia with music. I've been to the States before. I've been over to LA. A couple of times, but never with music. So to go over there with the purpose of like traveling the world, and it's really funny actually because one of my like life goals since I was a teenager was like I want to travel the world with music, and my old band never got to do that. So it was kind of like to be able to do this was like ticking it off a life goal. It was pretty crazy. So it's and it's a completely different world over there. Like the scene is so different to here. Well, it's not. It's just kind of like here, like a while ago. Like their country's just starting to build up there. They have a huge rock scene and a huge punk scene and all stuff like that. But country just, yes, and it's like, and they just find it in like their own way. So like some people really like the Morgan Wallen's thing. Some people like the Garth Brooks thing. Some people like the Johnny Cash thing. But all those people haven't heard all of it yet. It's just kind of what they found. So when I came out on stage, bullet out of a gun, like a big rock show that I do. Some people were like, yeah, and you can tell the people were like, what the hell is this? They thought they were like a Def Leppard show or something.
Oh, wow. It is different. I love that Jared before said that Josh Setterfield could do no wrong, and everyone's agreeing.
I confirm that he can. I confirm that he can.
That would be really daunting, actually, coming on stage, and especially those ones where you see them pull a face. You're like, what do I do to get them back into liking what I do, or do I just keep being me?
I think the thing with me is that I always just be me, and that's the thing, like I can come out there, and if I go, those people don't like me, I'm like, go harder, like it's kind of that's kind of where the punk side of me still lives. So it's I at the end of the day, I do what I do, and if they don't like it,
that's okay. right. That's exactly
Like,
right.
they either like me or they
That's
don't.
their choice. And nobody likes everything. That's the whole point of it, isn't it? That's
Exactly.
why we do it. And I think I agree that the UK have such a hunger for music and especially Australian music. I have such a lot of you wonderful people that watch every week from over there, and they are embracing Australian artists really well at the moment. But that's pretty scary. Never been overseas, and you're going to just jump on a stage. I don't think I could have done that.
Well, it was pretty wild. The first show we did over there, I did two at the Buckle and Boots Festival, and then we went to Birmingham and we went to London last. But for the Buckle and Boots Festival, the first thing that I did, and this was actually really nerve-wracking for me, was they gave me a songwriter round, which we all know what that is, where there's 3 of us. But I was sat between 2 like Nashville country legends who've like they're written with like Wallen, and they had a cut coming out with like Party and stuff like that, and I was just like, holy hell, man. So I've sat between these 2 people, and one of them went first, and then it was me. And when I played, the first song I played was Nothing Like Me. I thought, screw it, I'm gonna come out heavy, right? And it was just acoustically, but I came out with Nothing Like Me, and a bunch of people knew the words and they were all singing along. It was wild. I was just kind of like, wow, like it was really strange to go. Like, it's great when you're in Australia and you go to a place for the first time and they know the words, but to go overseas to another country, and I just expected no one to know me at all, and have people actually singing along to my first song I played there was wild. And the guys beside me noticed it, and they were just like, wow.
They knew this. This guy's not new. Crazy. This guy's done it for a while. That is crazy. But I actually think that would have made me more nervous.
No, that would just made me just relax completely. Like, I was like, oh, thank God.
They know. They already know it. They've heard the recorded version. They're just going to be okay now. Yeah. Well done. It looked like you had a great time, and you did get to do a bit of touristy stuff. Was there any bits that you want to go back to? Any favourites?
That I want to go back to? I would go back to all of it, to be honest. I mean, we did some pretty... I'm a big tourist when it comes to going to somewhere I haven't been before. I'm always like, I want to have like a 2-a-day here, and then I want to go out to somewhere to see something. Like when we came to Tassie, for example, I was just like, all right, we need to go to the gorge and stuff like that. And I just wanted to see things. I'm all about that kind of thing. So we went and we saw, obviously, London Tower. We saw Big Ben. The London Eye and stuff like that. But then we did like touristy stuff. Like, I'm a massive nerd, so we went to Harry Potter World, and I went and saw. Yeah, you know what the coolest thing about it? So we're doing a JSTV about it. For anyone watching who is missing the JSTVs, I apologize. I'm like 9 months behind in JSTVs. So really soon you're going to get like a whole season like Netflix, and I'm just going to drop the whole thing.
Yeah, that's so much better. You can just binge it.
Yeah, exactly. It's better like that, right? But so we went over there, and something that I mentioned in there, which is really cool, I'm going to put a bit of a shine on my manager for a second. So while we were over there, I got to meet Dana, my manager's uncle, and he actually works on Hollywood movies. So he like made some of the props for Harry Potter, and we actually went to the Harry Potter like world where they have all the museum and stuff, and just saw the stuff that he made. Like, he made that monster book. I don't know if you've seen the movie. Yeah, he made that, and he was like one of the legs on Aragog the spider and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy. So I was like fangirling over my manager's uncle while we're over there, and he ended up taking us to his studio and just showing where he works and stuff like this. So I've got it all on video. It's all coming. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit for that one. Ian lost his phone again in the episode, so it's gonna be great. I can't wait to put it out. I think the next episode we have to put out for JSTV is blow our covers behind the scenes, and that was ages ago. Yeah. I'm so far behind. But we've got some amazing things coming. That's why I promise that there's a reason why we're so far behind.
You've been so busy, and we're only halfway. We're halfway through the year, and you haven't stopped. You must actually be feeling a bit crazy and just needing a bit of downtime as well.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why I guess I'm so stressed at the moment, is because of it's because of how much we've been doing, and I didn't even realize that we were halfway through the year. You know, like, my birthday's in August, and it's coming up soon, and I was like, hey, did I just have one? Like, you know, it feels like it feels like it's just speeding up just as fast as my career is at the moment, and it's I don't want it to slow down. I need to learn to prioritize. Like, this needs to be done, and then chill out, you know, because I'm
Yeah,
very just, I can just work until like I wake up at like 9 in the morning, and then I work till like 5 a.m. and I'm just like, oh shit, it's 5 in the morning, I need to go to bed. You know, like yeah, I'm really bad for that. So I think that's what I need to do, is I really need to start just making some time for myself, because I don't do that. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you do that, you're going to have more song ideas and more things to write about, because you're actually living life as well. You're not just working, because it must get to a point where you're like, what have I been doing lately? I've been working. And you haven't got any new content really to
when
do,
you like catch up with a friend and they're like, oh, what have you been doing? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, just like stuff I can't talk about yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must be frustrating too, actually.
A little bit.
Yes.
Little bit.
I know that there's a lot that you can't talk about, but it sounds like you've got the next few months and into the next year pretty already jam-packed, and some pretty cool coming. How are you feeling about all that? Is it something that's still unbelievable, just to be so booked ahead and so busy?
Well, yeah, actually, it's
coming from COVID to this.
Yeah, well, it's like a different world, right? Like, it's and I feel like it's still getting used to it in a way. No, it's with the stuff we've got coming up is really cool. I can tease a little bit about the most recent one, because it has half been announced, but I'm just waiting to get the all clear to put it on the tour flyer. But we have some United States dates to announce very soon, which is really cool. And that should be around the same time we go to Canada really soon. So looking forward to it. And then into the new year, we've got some of the biggest things we've ever done coming up, which I'm literally not allowed to talk about, or Dana will actually kill me. So,
then they won't happen. So it will be okay that he's talked about it. Once she kills you, it won't matter. We can talk about it then. What's on the, obviously, you know, you just said you're heading to Canada and you're heading to the US, and you've never been out of Australia until this very recent trip. What's on the bucket list for tourist things over there? Is there anything that you've always wanted to do that you're going to get to do?
Actually, we've just locked in a Disney World trip.
Oh, good. I've always wanted to do that.
And I know I shouldn't be like, that should be my main excitement. Like, it should be the shows, but like, I've always wanted to go to Disney World, so we're locking that in for when we go over. And I've been to Disneyland like 6 times. And I know that much about that place that I could be a tour guide over there. So when we go here, it's going to be a completely new thing. I just went to Disneyland in Paris while we were over in the UK. We jumped across to do that as well. So to do 2 different Disney parks in I'm a big nerd. Like, I've got Ariel the Little Mermaid tattooed on me right here, right? Like, I'm the biggest nerd probably in the country music scene. So
I love it. I can't. And the really cool thing about you doing the Josh Setterfield TV is we all get to enjoy it as well.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, but apparently it's just going to be 9 months later that you get to.
What do you do? Do you just leave it rolling the whole time, just so that you don't miss things, and then just have tons to edit?
No, well, we did do that for a little while. Sorry. We did do that for a little while, and there was that much footage that it would take me a week to get through a video. So now it's just kind of like, whip the camera out when there's something important happening, and then some people will be like, this isn't important, because it'll be me like pissing Mick off or something like that, right? But which there's plenty of that coming up.
Part of the story.
Yeah, so it's it actually does take a long time, and that's kind of why I haven't put it to the back burner, but I have just put it to the side while we work on the things that we have got coming. And hey, people are going to be stoked with it, because there's a lot of new songs coming. There's a lot of big things coming, and I can't wait to announce them all. And when it comes out, people are going to be like, that was worth it. So
this is the hardest part of being an artist, isn't it? It's not what you do tell everyone, it's what you don't tell everyone.
And I'm the worst at keeping secrets. Like, I just was like, oh, I'm going to the US, and I haven't even announced it yet, you know? So like, I'm no, it is the hardest thing, and because I am the worst, and I think that's why Dana keeps a bloody leash on me and is like, don't say anything, because she knows that I would. Yeah.
Before things are confirmed and ready to announce, exactly.
I get too excited.
I can actually see it, you know, booking your schedule and not actually telling you.
Yeah, well, she has started doing that. She has. She's like, I've got some news for you. You're going here. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah. I've got this coming up. Make sure you book that date out. Too late. You're already actually busy. So yeah, that's what I would do as a manager. Just don't tell you. Full trust. But I mean, Dana is amazing. She does look after you so well.
Well, she tries to look after me. She does a good job, but I mean,
don't imagine it to be an easy task.
Hard to handle. So.
There'd be no easy in that. Every dollar is well earned. Yeah, every dollar.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of telling us what you've got coming up for the rest of the year. But you were just saying, you've got more music coming. So you've obviously been finding time to write in all of this craziness. Have you got lots of sort of plans for albums and releases before the end of the year that you're allowed to talk about? I don't know.
Funny because we were working on an album, but we've actually scrapped it now.
Paused. So yep.
There is still more music coming, but we're doing it in a different way, and I'm actually a lot more confident about the way we're doing it because I want to include some things that we've done and some things that we haven't done yet and kind of put them together. So when we're working on new music at the moment, I kind of want it to be a collection of songs that just show who I am, and so but some of the music that we're currently writing and working on, which is actually my team, is main songwriter is Craig Brooks out of Canada, and I've never met this guy before, right? So when we go to Canada, it was the first time I'm meeting him, and he's one of my best friends now. So it's like I am really excited. So some of the stuff we've been working on together is amazing. We got a recording session coming up in a couple of days, which I'm very excited about for a song that I'm very excited about, and there'll be new music coming at you pretty quickly once this gets started with the way that we're doing it. Because instead of just dropping an album and going, there it is, we've got a better idea with what we're doing. So
I like that. You can tell, you're looking more relieved about it. But also, I think one thing, and from the very beginning of when we first had you on this show, when you were sort of just transitioning into country and really sort of at that beginning point, you've always done things a bit differently, and you've always had new ideas and different ways to do it. And from recording everything and doing it all in your bedroom to what you're doing now and the Josh Setterfield TV, there's so many different layers. I think that's probably what helps you stand out a little bit. So that continuing to do things that way is probably what I'm glad to see you doing. Really.
Yeah, I think it's not even like trying to do things differently, it's just that we work differently. But I like that, like I do like that. And then occasionally you'll see someone who will like think that's a good idea and they just come in and just completely rip it off, So and that shits me, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. You won't catch me copying people, like I'm not the type to go and do like videos where I'm like, oh, do you think this person should be on my song? That kind of shit when you've already recorded it. I'm not about that. I go out and do it my own way. I know that's such a common thing for people to do nowadays, and I just think it's so fucking lame. So
I always think, what about when people say no?
I know, right? It's just like, obviously you already recorded it, or you wouldn't be telling anyone. Anyway,
exactly.
Screw that. But hey.
I'm sorry, Matt just popped up on the screen. I said hi.
Sorry, we're just ranting, and Matt's like, hey.
Yeah. We just, we always do that. We're good at getting sidetracked. So I know that you had on your, and I do a little bit of my spying and all the socials and stuff over the time with all artists, but I noticed that, you've been really pushing your merch. You had the hoodies, you had what are the Guernseys, the basketball ones.
The jersey, yeah.
I love that. That was so great. So tell us, have you got new merch at the moment? What are you doing merch wise at the minute?
We've just shipped off some hoodies at the moment and some beanies for the first time ever, but they were just a winter special. People can't get them anymore because we've literally Dana came around today and we wrapped them all up and we're sending them out first thing in the morning. But so that was a really cool thing to do. Oh yeah, you had them on the screen. We got bandanas and stuff like that now, which is like, because I always wear one on my belt and stuff. But we got a couple new shirt designs coming as well that's in the works, and we just released the Nothing Like Me one, which was a really spur of the moment thing. But that thing has sold so quickly that we've on our second run already. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's your merch does tend to go out the door pretty quick. When are you coming to Perth? Perth, WA, I'm pretty sure is what you're meaning.
I want to go to Perth so badly. And you know what? I talked about my band a bit this time, but my band back in the day, before I was in country, it was always, oh, we're going to Perth. And we never made it. And now I haven't made it in country there either. And I'm going overseas before I go to Perth. It's wrong, right?
It's so weird, isn't it? We don't get around our whole country.
Some Perth festival needs to put me on the damn lineup so I can get over there. Because I think if I went there first, I don't know how much of a crowd we get. So I feel like for the first time I need to go over with someone, you know. So it's like a good, enjoyable experience for everybody.
A festival would be perfect.
Yes, exactly.
And you can actually enjoy it, kick back and enjoy Perth and the festival at the same time. That's what you really need.
And go to Perth Disneyland. So
I've never been to Perth myself. I want to though. It is a long way away.
It is a long way.
And Ryan had a thing on there before that he went to Warner Brothers Studios and Disney and Universal Studios as well. So that there's a lot of people that have done way more than I have, and both of us
need to get out there.
We don't do it much, do we? And when we do go places for music, it's do the gig and leave. You don't have that time to even, you don't really see anything but the airport and the venue that you're performing at, and
you've got to have a tourist day. You've got to have a tourist day.
Yeah, that's what you've got to
say. Sane. I mean, I'm pretty insane, but you know what
I mean. So you've got, as you're saying, you've got more merch coming, and they can obviously get all of that sort of available now. What can we do at the moment? I know if we want to get your single, do you have a preferred platform that you sort of try to push with your charts, or what's your sort of?
Not really. I kind of just, wherever people listen to it, as long as they're cranking it up, that's all I'm about. Just if people are liking it, post about it. Post about it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and OnlyFans if they do that, I guess. You know, whatever. As long as people are talking about it, you know, because that people don't realize, but that is how, not OnlyFans, but everything else is how people like discover music, you know. So like if people are if you like a song, tell people, you know, because that's how the word spreads. So
exactly. Darren wanted to know, are you doing groundwater this year?
No, I'm not doing groundwater. They didn't want me. They didn't want me this year. We tried and they didn't want me. Last time we played there was 2 years ago, and we had a line out the door of the venue. People couldn't even get in. So
I remember it was crazy. It was crazy.
Comments on their posts.
I remember trying to get down to do, you know, a bit of footage and photos at one of your groundwater shows, and you just couldn't. You just couldn't get there. There was no way through.
I want to play though. It's one of my favorite festivals. So if someone can make it happen, I'm available. Let's go.
It's so nice. You get to go home to bed at the end of it. You don't have to travel. It's just perfect for you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Especially now that, you know, you're overseas so much, you know, it'd be nice to have some home gigs.
Yeah, well, I am really liking the overseas stuff, but we do have Gympie on the Flyer at the moment is the only Australian show left, but we do have a Brisbane one in the works. There it is. Yes, there it is. Right after Canada, we do have a Brisbane one in the works. So I've been talking about it for a little while, but I think we finally found the perfect venue for it in Brisbane. Fantastic. And if people are available, keep an eye out, because we are headed to Brisbane for the final show of the Kind of World Tour. I think we're going to do this is the first time I've spoken about this as well. Dana's probably like, shut your mouth. But if anyone comes to it, I think we're going to do World Tour merch as well, just as a one-off exclusive. Fantastic. So thinking about the dates on the back and you know, the photo on the front or something like that. We're still in talks about it. We're not sure, but I'm very excited because I've never done a proper headline show before, and I think people have been saying for years that I'm well overdue to do one. So. It'll just be cool, you know, to put on my own show and run it how I want to run it. You know, as you know, we do things differently. So it'll still be a show like you've been to, but we like to go above and beyond. And when it's my own show and my band and my rules, I can do whatever the hell I want, you know. So people don't want to miss this because we got some big things in plan. So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I hope I can get there. It'll be fun. Darren's putting up to Gympie. I think he's going to drive up, so he'll be up there to enjoy Gympie. I know that I can't make Gympie this year, but it is a long way for me because I've got to find all the camp gear and get it there is the problem.
Not good enough. No,
next time I'm coming, I'm just going to message you and say, throw an extra tent in because I'm coming. That'll be my rule. And Dan Edwards popped in and said hi, and Susie's very excited about your upcoming Brisbane show as well.
Cool.
And I think, Matt was saying, come to Perth. I think probably the best thing that we can ever do for artists to get them is tell the festivals. They're always looking for recommendations and what people are wanting. So share it, ask them, put it out there.
And it's really funny, actually, I will say, and this kind of goes for any like smaller artist like myself that's not like a Casey Barnes or a Travis Collins or a Wolf Brothers. A lot of the festivals, like, they're across those kind of artists. But if you want to see like a mid-tier artist or a smaller artist, you've got to tell them, because a lot of the time they don't know that you want us to come, or they don't, like we want to be there, but like if the crowd isn't being like, oh, like get this person. That helps a lot. Like, so, because we're always going to pitch for it, but if they can see that the crowd wants us to come as well, like it's one of those things where they're like,
it gets to the point where you don't even have to necessarily put in. They'll come out reaching because like people have been talking, and this is who you were asking for.
Exactly.
So always do it and always push it, but sharing it and message them, email them, any of that sort of thing. Put on their Facebook pages. It does make a huge difference. So
because people don't think about that. They're like, oh, I won't do it. But even just a comment helps. Like, if you comment and tag my name on something, people are like, oh, there it is, and then other people check it out, and then it snowballs, and then
I think some of it also is that repetition of just seeing the name. It does stick in your head more, and I think that you notice that we start applying for festivals and you don't get it for years, and then all of a sudden you're still doing the same sort of thing, but they put you on because I think that the name is stuck in the back of their mind, and that unconscious thing of, oh yeah, I've heard of him. I'll pop him on and do that. And Darren wanted to know, you're going to do a Brisbane River cruise. That's a good question.
No, I won't.
Too big.
And I have done plenty of them. One sec. Sorry. I have done plenty of them in the past supporting artists. I will not do one of my own, and there is a reason, and I'm not scared to talk about it. So I am terrified of water. I can't swim. And I don't like those river cruises. I know that people love going on them, but it's just one thing for me is playing a show, and I move around here, so playing a show while doing this just ain't that fun for me. So I still think they're cool. I think they're great, but I probably will never do one of my own. No.
I had a feeling that you might not like boats, and I think one of the ones that I went on, I think you played the after party. You've played the after party at a few of them, haven't you? And I actually have wondered, that is it because you're not a big fan of being on a boat, and that's why you do the after party? That makes so much sense. That does add up. What's your favorite song that you have written but not released yet? And Love Life Ain't So Bad. So
okay.
Really good.
Is that a spill a song title? Is that what that is? That's a hard question, actually, because I got so many that we're working on at the moment that I really love. Like, we've got some that are like radio style country, and we've got some that are like hearty heavy with some like metal influences and stuff like that, and they're all going to be on the same kind of like group of songs. But I don't know. There's one that we're working on at the moment called Stay, which I think is really cool. We're not sure when that one will come out, but it could be soon. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go with that one for now for that question. Right.
Keep that name in mind, so when you see it come up on those socials. Are you going to do a bit of a test run of some of the new songs when you're performing at some of these book shows?
Yeah, we're planning a new song at Gympie already. Not sure which one it is going to be at the moment, but we're planning on road testing at least one there. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love that you get to test it, and I think when people are at those festivals and events and they get to hear one that you're testing, I think it gets that connection as well, doesn't it?
Well, we did that with Life Ain't So Bad. The only time we ever played it was at Hip Slam before we released it, and it had a really good connection. So that was one of those. I haven't played a show yet where you release, like, you go to say, here's a new song, and people go, nah, sucks.
No.
So, hopefully that doesn't happen. But...
So they're all either lying or they really do love it. You just have to hope that that's the latter of the two. But and I guess we are here to talk about Life So Bad, but I think I don't know how we can just talk about one thing with you at the moment with everything going on.
But
how did it feel releasing that? Because it is a really good song. The film clip is fantastic. Have you had a great response from people around all of that as well?
Yeah, it's been great. One thing I will say is, for some reason, Spotify didn't get behind this one,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
weird, isn't
radio
it?
has. Hey,
Yeah, it's weird with Spotify. Sometimes they pick up ones that you just wouldn't think they'd pick up.
it's
And
really strange. Well, they
yeah,
played Nothing Like Me, but they didn't put this one in any playlist. But it's actually pretty amazing, because I jumped on there before, and it's got over 40,000 plays just from fans listening to it. So,
yeah,
that's kind of, it is, while it
yeah.
sucks, it's kind of cool, because that has happened. People have been requesting it to radio, and it's jumped up in the Country Town charts, which is absolutely amazing as well, because it jumped up from, I think, 38 to, I can't remember what the number was, because I got that many numbers in my head at the moment. But and that was all because of people requesting it. It's crazy. Like, there is a bit of a story behind. Do you want to hear the bit of a story behind this song?
Yeah, let's do it.
So
Definitely.
this one is was a little bit. It's actually been a bit of a life changer for me, actually. And I'm actually going to tell this story right now as quick as I can, just because I also mentally need to hear this story again at the moment with the amount of stress I've been under. But basically, a couple of years ago, I was going through some pretty dark, depressing stuff, and one day, I don't know why it was this day, but I was driving out to a gig out in Toowoomba, and I was just doing like a pub covers gig. This was like straight after COVID, when music hadn't come back yet. And there's Dana, 18.
Yeah.
Jumped up to 18. Glad to know she's watching, and I'm going to get a stern talking to about revealing
The
information
rest of
after
the stuff.
But I was driving down the highway doing about 105, and there was not a car on the road but me. I had Russell Dickinson's song "Home Sweet." It was my favorite song at the time, and it was playing it at its full volume. And I looked out, and the sun was setting over these mountains, and it was just, for some reason, I just felt this inner moment of peace, and I hadn't felt that in a really long time. And I thought I kind of want to hold on to that moment. And then 2 days later, I was shooting a video. I do that on side for a bit of fun here and there. For my brother's, he was working at this company with the 4-wheel drives, and we went up to the beach, and I was like filming all this stuff. And then we finished, and he's like, "Jump on the jet ski and we'll go for a drive." And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm just not really feeling it," because I still had that like down feeling. And I jumped on the back, and I held the rope while this girl skied. And as we've gone out away from the shore, these big mountain ranges come into view, and the water was just sparkling. And I just had another one of those moments, like, wow, like, life ain't so bad. What am I doing? Why am I sad? And then 2 days later again, so this for some reason happened in a matter of 2 days apart. 2 days later again, I had a song write for the first time ever from this guy that I just hit up on Instagram, Craig Brooks, who I spoke about earlier. And I just hit him up because I saw him working with someone that I liked. And I was like, "Hey, man, like, I really like this song you've worked on here." And he's like, "It's good to meet you, man. Like, we should write a song." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So this was the scheduled day. And for some reason, I just had these two things happen. And he said, What do you want to write a song about?" And I said, "Man, I have had this thing happen this week that has been like a bit of a life changer in a way." He's like, "Let's write a song about it." And I told him about how I felt like life ain't so bad. And he said, "Let's call it Life Ain't So Bad." So this literally is really strange, because it's a life-changing moment for me in two ways. And that was, I saw light in such a dark time, which kind of changed my perspective, because I still try to hold on to that. But then also it changed because I messaged this guy out of the blue. We wrote a song together, and now all the songs that people have heard me release since right about now have been me and this guy working together. So it's like the reason that I'm climbing at the moment is because the songs we're releasing are with myself writing and this guy writing. And the two of us together, he's become like a close friend of mine. Like I said, I haven't even met the guy yet. And for the first time ever, we're going to get to meet him when I go to Canada. So it's a pretty special moment. It was like a life-changing thing, because I like met this dude who we've written songs together now. It's put me on this path that's making me climb. So it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was just meant to be when it happened. And life ain't so bad, but it's also life
so special. This song's special for me to put out, and to know that people love it as much as they do, and the fact that it's climbing the charts because people are requesting it is just like, oh man, huge. Like it's I've been wanting to put this song out for a very long time, and we never did, because I felt like it wasn't the time, and I just felt like that was the time. Like, let's go. Yeah.
It just fitted when it was meant to. And it is one of those reminders that we all need, isn't it? We all have days where we don't feel
Really?
it, we don't want, and we all need. It doesn't matter who you are and what
I've
you
had them
do.
lately. Honestly,
Yeah,
like I said, I've
with
been going through
everything
a lot
you
of
have.
stress. I've had them lately, and I need to shut up and listen to my own song.
That's
You know? So yeah.
It's really important that we do remember that, and that's what with you. You're going away and you're getting to do all these things, but it's so great because you're making time to also do something and tick some of your bucket lists off while you're there as well as working. So
Yeah. Like I said,
it's
I'm a tourist.
you're a tourist, and then you get on stage, you work for a few hours, and then you go back to touring. It's perfect.
Exactly. The shows are just like a bonus for the touristy stuff. No, completely the other way around. I absolutely love the shows. It's the touristy stuff's the bonus, but yeah.
How special though. Tell us again before we go, where's the best place to keep an eye on? Because I know you've got so much coming that you haven't announced yet. What's the best platform that you probably keep up to date the most?
I try to keep on top of them the most, all of them as much as I can. I've been a bit slack with TikTok lately because that one's a bit of a grind, as we know.
Yeah.
But no, it's I will post stuff on there again soon. But that's
Snapchatting as well.
What's that?
You're Snapchatting as well. Looking at that,
yeah. So I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I've just launched a Threads account, but you can guarantee that I am not going to post on that because we did Twitter years ago. I don't understand why we have to do another one that's identical to Twitter, but it is what it is. Follow me on Threads.
The other week, and I'm like, "What? Isn't this the same as what we already have?" I thought that. I'm like, what's different?
I was like, another social media, but it's the same. Why? Like it's
the same
so
thing, and it's just a different color. That's all I could think.
Exactly.
I'm like, what's different apart from that? I
don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
I think it's but it's funny, all these ones that do come and go, there's still those main ones that seem to just hold on, don't they?
They stick around. Yeah, they stick around. The Zuckerberg has got us locked into his but I'm not doing Threads, Zuckerberg, damn it.
I'm standing my ground.
Yeah.
They do my head in. But thank you so much for coming on to chat. I hope we can have you back for the next single, and I would really love to have you back after this next lot of touring and hear your story. It's great to sort of get these East catch up and top ups as your career goes along. I think it's pretty nice to see it going from where you started to where you are and where you're headed. It's very exciting times.
Well, hopefully we'll have a new song out around the time that we are either back or have just gone overseas. So let's do it. Let's schedule it. I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you about how Disneyland was. And
you know what we should do? We should, when you're at Disneyland, we should do a short live.
Wow, that would be pretty cool. I don't know what the connection will be like, but we can give it a go. Right?
We can give it a go. And you know what? I can get up in the middle of the night. It's fine. Because it'll be totally different. Let's do something different.
That would actually be really interesting. And I'll give you guys like a tour around the park.
That would be fun.
Over here, and here's this ride over here. Like,
and you know what? I won't have spent a cent on it. I'll be in Disneyland and it'll be free.
I love it.
Everybody's dream, right? Can you claim it on tax? Tickets here. We're doing a live. Maybe
claim the mouse. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, though. It is so good to see you coming. And again, guys, if you want to haven't actually, just in case you haven't seen the film clip Till Life Ain't So Bad, it is in the top of the comments. So make sure you check it out and hit subscribe on that so that you do get notifications when new videos come out or and new singles too. It's so much easier than having to watch all these different places, and sometimes you do miss them, so it'll just give you a reminder if you've subscribed. So make sure you do that while you're there and send us some messages and let us know what you think if you haven't seen it already.
If you hate it, do the same thing. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, you got if people don't like it, you got to know. You don't want to do the same thing again.
Exactly.
It's always helpful. But yes, so thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back. No, we won't be back next week. Next week, I am not going to be in reception, I don't think. So I've put the show on hold for a week, and I know that that's really hard because we've got so many people to fit in. But I'm working on a new job that allows me more time to be not at work so that I can do more shows because we can't. We've got so many. Progress. And so we will be away next week, but there's probably going to be lots and lots of things going on, posts and singles, and so keep an eye on the page because it doesn't stop. We're so lucky with the volunteers that we have helping out, And even though I might not be a reception, I know that everybody else is putting content out there on the pages. So have a look and enjoy the week. Stay safe. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and thank you, Josh, and tell Dana we said thank you very much. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.